Whether you love it or you hate it, leg meta is a hilarious strategy used in Escape from Tarkov. And while it's not really my thing, I don't do it very often. When I do, especially if I'm on a budget or it's kind of early wipe, I've got one gun that I return to almost every single time. I'm Jessekazam. Welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov video. I stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. I'd love to have you stop by and say hey. And I'd like to take a second to thank the sponsor for this video, Skillshare. As you guys know, learning is kind of core and fundamental to who I am. I love to apply myself into learning Escape from Tarkov and really whatever else it is that I'm doing, which is why this partnership with Skillshare is so awesome. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creatives and curious people to explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. There are tons of classes on the website for just about anything that you want to do. There's stuff if you're interested in getting started on Twitch, there's classes for that, breaking down Twitch and OBS. If you want to start editing your own gameplay, there's tons of video editing classes on multiple different video editors. I personally have always been excited and interested about photography as it's so closely related to videography, which is what I've done in the past. And I've been taking the DIY product photography class, which is actually taught by the guys over at Mango Street Lab, which is a YouTube channel that I've been watching for years. It's curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they're always launching new premium classes. So you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. And the annual membership ends up coming out to less than $10 a month. And to top it all off, the first 1,000 people that sign up using my code below will get a free trial of their premium membership. So thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. With all that stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so in this video, we are talking about the Klin / Ketter. So these are guns that are really commonly found on scavs. They're available to purchase pretty early. And in my opinion, they make some of the best budget leg meta kind of destroyers in Escape from Tarkov. These guns are, in my opinion, pretty fun to use, and I don't see too many people using them. So right out of the gate, you can see that we have 3 here. These are all 9x18 caliber weapons. They shoot the 9x18 round, which is also shot by some other pistols like the Makarov and the APB and stuff like that. But the SMGs that shoot this are the PP9 Klin, the PP91 Ketter, and the PP91 Ketter B. Now, the main differences between these, especially the Klin and the Ketter right out the gate, is the fire rate a little bit. So the Ketter shoots at 900 rounds per minute. The Klin shoots at 1,000. So they both shoot very fast. Their stats are similar, actually pretty much identical, with a tiny bit more ergo going in favor of the Ketter. Other than that, they basically have the same effective range and accuracy. They are pretty close together. One thing, though, that separates these, and we'll get into this a little bit more with the ammo, is that there is, of all the 9x18 rounds in Tarkov, there is one round that the Klin can shoot that the Ketter cannot shoot. So we'll talk about that a little bit. It's only one round. The rest of them are pretty interchangeable. And then you've got the PP91 Ketter B, which shoots as fast as the Ketter. It's basically a Ketter with an integrated silencer on it. And that brings the recoil down a little bit. You get a little bit of an ergo hit, but you're suppressed now, which is nice. So for the most part, these guns are basically identical. Now, we'll always start with price. So you can purchase these starting from like level 1 proper, which is awesome. So the Ketter, you can purchase straight from level 1 for 20,000 rubles, which means we're not at an early wipe right now, but once we get back to an early wipe, this is a pretty viable weapon, especially since early wipe, not many people are going to be running armor. So any round that does a lot of flesh damage is going to do really well early wipe. And then at level 2, you can now purchase the Klin and the Ketter B. So these do not require a whole lot of unlocking to get these guns unlocked. And if you want to use these any sort of like mid to late wipe, they are even cheaper on the flea market. 15,000 rubles, 29,000 rubles, and 10,000 rubles. Like, these are some of the cheapest guns. We buy mags that are 5 to 6 times as expensive as these firearms. So they're really affordable. They're accessible early and affordable the later on in the wipe you go. They have 2 magazines, the 20 round mag and the 30 round mag. These are pretty cheap on the flea market as well. You can buy these for 1,000 rubles, 1,600 rubles. And then you can purchase the 30 rounders for about 6,000 to 10,000 if you don't have it from unlocked from proper, and only 3,000 rubles from proper. Now, I believe you do need level 3 proper to get the 30 round mag. So that is, once again, if we're early wipe, that's a little bit of a grind. If you're brand new to the game, that might be a little bit of a grind. But for people that have been playing that are just kind of for a while, especially in this wipe, and now they're just kind of on a budget, then these are incredibly affordable. But they're even affordable from the flea market still. So it shouldn't be too big of a deal there. So 3 SMGs, relatively similar. You've got the integrated suppressor, the guns are cheap, the mags are cheap. You've got 30 round mags, which isn't big, but it's not small. Being able to have a 30 round mag, I mean, the Val, the best you can get is a 30 round mag. So that's not by any means like a slouch. Now we can talk about some of the mods. Really quickly, you see this. This is the only modifications you can do to this gun, and you can purchase this thing. You find these on raiders. The raiders that have the Klin or the Ketter will have this on here a lot, and it's a mount that's really cheap. Off the flea market, affordable from Skier. It slides right on. You can put a flashlight on the bottom and an optic on the top. A lot of times you'll see raiders with a PK06 up top, which is kind of nice. You can throw this in your Skier container. You get a mount, a flashlight, and a PK06 oftentimes. But if you don't have a PK06 or they're expensive, I put a Delta point on here, and we'll look at this in the hideout. But that's it. As far as modifications go, that's it. And you guys know with these like cheap Chad Destroyer kind of videos, I like guns that don't require a lot of modification because it keeps costs down and it keeps them like relatively not complicated. You're not having to keep up with which buttstock is currently meta, you know, X, Y, and Z. You just kind of use them. The iron sights are very usable. And if you don't need a flashlight, then boom, for as low as 10,000 rubles, you've got a gun. That's all you need. So we can move on to talking about the ammo. So like we said in the beginning, this is kind of the leg meta destroyer. That's how I use this gun primarily. But if we wanted to talk about like the highest pen, PBM is the highest pen round here with 28 pen and 40 damage. So 28 pen, 40 damage, you're going to be on the struggle bus hard mid to late wipe. 28 pen is going to even take a few shots to get through anything class 3. If you're a great shot and you can put 2 to 3 rounds on a face shield, if someone with like an exfil or a fast MT or an airframe, you will kill that guy because, you know, those are only level 3 face shields, but you're going to really have to hit your shots. These guns shoot fast, so if you're hitting your shots, you're putting a lot of rounds down, but I would not rely on these for pen. The second best ammo here is the PMM, and like we talked about here, I can kind of show you that this will not fit into the Ketter weapons, only the Klin. It'll fit here, but not here. And if you put a PMM into a mag and then put it into a Ketter, it's going to give you this. And some people get really confused because they're like, this is the same caliber, but for some reason, I'm not a firearms expert. That round just does not work. So don't try to put PMM into a Ketter. But like we said, I wouldn't recommend doing that. I would never really advise doing that anyway, because the pen on these is just not, in my opinion, not what you're going for. What you're going for here is leg meta, and the king of the leg meta rounds for this caliber is SP7. SP7 has 77 damage. Now only 2 pen, but we're not going for pen here. 77 damage, which is pretty significant. And if you needed a secondary round, the second best is the PSV, which is 69 flesh damage. Nice. So we can take a look at this. So the SP7 is purchasable from Prapor. I bought a bunch while I was researching this video. So it's purchasable for 165 rubles a round. You can find some on the flea market, not a whole lot though. So you're mainly going to be buying this from Prapor. And if we filter by ammo, I believe it is, level 3. So once again, you do need level 3 in order to get this ammo. You can buy about 400 of it, which is quite a bit. And it's really, really cheap. Now, if you're not at level 3 proper yet, Jaeger level 1 sells the PSV ammo. You can purchase 400 of this. So Jaeger level 1 is incredibly easy to get. This has 69 flesh damage, and it's even cheaper, 73 rubles per. So the ammo is accessible just like everything else. So how does this kind of translate? Now, leg meta is one of those things that is really hard to quantify because once you black out a limb, it basically starts taking down health from all the other limbs, which means that if you're shooting one leg and then you shoot the other leg, if you haven't blacked out that other leg, you're not doing damage to the rest of the body. That's why leg meta can be hard to accomplish. You know, if you got something like a KS-23 where you only need to land one good shot, boom, you're done. That's one thing. But a full auto weapon, if somebody's 80 strafing and there's desync, it might be hard to hit those legs consistently. Now, you can use the damage calculator in Battle Buddy to figure this out, but it takes about 6 or 7 shots to completely kill somebody in the leg with this gun and with SP7. But what's nice about the 77 pen is that you only need to hit each leg one time to black them out. And since there's no leg armor, that's only going to add one more round. So in about 7 or 8 rounds, you can eliminate anybody in this game with leg meta with this gun. So you've got, it's a fast firing gun up to 1,000 rounds per minute, 900 to 1,000, and you've only got 30 round mags, which is a decent amount, but when you're shooting ammo that fast, so that means you do kind of have to hit your shots on those legs, because if you're missing, if you're whiffing shots and you only hit 5 shots, well, you're going to have to reload and they might be able to pain kill and get out of the way. You know, pre-painting and pre-golden star ibuprofen means that even if you do black out someone's leg, they might be able to just run away anyway. And if they've got anything significant, then they're going to annihilate you. So that's why I normally stray away from leg meta personally, because it's just one of those things where sometimes it can feel like it requires more skill, and why not just get an AK with BT and shoot him in the chest and you're probably going to get the job done. But a lot of people like it, and these guns are super fun to run. A lot of times mid-wipe, I'll run this and a bolt action on like woods or any medium to long range maps, and you will be surprised at how quickly you can swap to this thing and just annihilate somebody if they're giving you the opportunity. Once again, if they have their legs hidden or something like that, you can go for arm meta, but arm meta, because of the math and the way that it works, once an arm is blacked, it's taking less damage it's giving less damage to the rest of the body. So it's going to take a few more shots with arm meta. An interesting thing that you can try though, is because everybody in the game now is rocking slicks and hex grids, a lot of people are rocking slicks and hex grids. These don't offer stomach protection. And a really interesting thing is that you can shoot someone in the stomach, and in 5 shots with SP7, they will die, because that first shot is going to black out the stomach. The stomach has a higher multiplier of when it's blacked out and you get shot, it's taking more damage away from every other limb, and in 5 shots. So that's something to think of. That's a risky move, because if they have basically any armor at all on that covers their stomach, they are going to be blocking it because it only has 2 pen. But if somebody has a slick and you're aiming low and you hit them in the stomach, in 5 shots, you can annihilate somebody. So that's kind of it. That's the Klin and the Ketter. They're all basically the same. If I'm trying to go quiet, I'll rock this. If not, I'm just going to get whatever's cheaper. And we can kind of go into the hideout really quickly and just take a look at what the recoil patterns look like, and like what the optic thing, the kind of optic mount looks like. So this is the Ketter B. We can put it in full auto and just kind of let it rip. So you can see that no matter what the stats say, we get a little vertical jump, boom, and then that thing really settles out. I wasn't compensating for recoil at all. So this has like 55 or something like that. You know, you can get an M4 down to 33 or whatever, but man, that's usable. So if you're going for the legs, if you've got someone close to medium distance and you can just go for those legs, you're just going to annihilate them. We can switch over to the Klin, and you can kind of see the optic mount there. Once again, you find these a lot with on raiders with PK06s on them. The flashlight meta is real. You can blind people, so you're kind of doing both and with this mount. The thing is, you got to look low with these to get that leg meta, but these have a little bit more recoil, but it's not that much. It's still, you get that vertical kick, it settles out. You know, the unsuppressed versions definitely have a little bit more of a spray there. Basically, every time I rock this, I am going for the suppressed Ketter, because you get suppression and you get a little bit less recoil. And in my opinion, the iron sights are fine. And like we said, this is kind of the king of the budget. So that's the Klin Ketter 9x18 family. Hopefully, if, you know, this is just something else for you to try if you're looking on a super budget to use something that has the potential at least to drop anybody in the game. Leg meta is the great equalizer because nobody has leg armor. Like I said, I wanted to do a video about it, but it's not something I really do often or recommend doing unless you are on a pinch or we're early wipe. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your comments down below, and hopefully you get out there and leg meta some thick PMCs in Escape from Tarkov. Thank you so much, as always, for taking the time to check out this video. Like we said before, I stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. If you like this video, think about dropping a like, commenting down below, or subscribing to the channel for more content like this. And if you're looking for people to play Tarkov with, our Discord community is an awesome place to be. That link is down below as well. Thank you again for stopping by, and I will definitely see y'all on the next one.